guys, welcome back to It's Fullness, a podcast. If this is your first time joining me, welcome, and I'm so glad that you're here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I am not feeling it today. I'm tired. I don't know, I think I'm just in this season of, not burnout, but just like, I'm kind of getting to the point where like, I'm ready for Christmas, and I know it's early, but like, I'm ready for that little bit of a break. I'm ready to slow down. I'm ready to just kind of, I really feel the Lord calling me to get in His Word more and just to understand Him more. And I think, this is like a really crazy, like, be raw and honest with you guys. I just feel like lately I've been like not as seeking after His character. And I think for a long time there was a big chunk like over the summer and stuff where I was really like on fire for the Lord and really excited to learn about Him and just to like grow in knowledge and understanding of Him. And now I feel like I'm in this season of like, not like, oh, I forgot that I still need to grow and learn from Him, but just like I'm so busy and caught up in the world, and like with the election that just happened, and like just everything clouds over my desire and my heart on fire for Him, if that makes sense. So I'm excited because I feel like this is just the Lord growing my heart in a new way, and I'm ready to just dive back in to His Word even deeper. And yeah, today is going to be a quick episode. Oh, if you guys couldn't tell, which I'm sure you already have, but we had a little bit of a podcast cover revamp. It's been a long time coming. I've been trying to do this for a long time. It just in the works, took a while, but it's here. And yeah, we're growing, we're changing, we're evolving, and it was time for a podcast cover upgrade. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. But today's going to be a really quick episode. I want to share with you guys a clip of a talk, a speech, or a testimonial of myself a few weeks ago on surrender. It was actually about a month ago. And it's just another story of my testimony in a new way, and also just a call to surrender. So if you're somebody, I know we've talked about this in the last few episodes and stuff, but if you're somebody that really struggles with surrender, and maybe it is this area of body image, or it is an area of just self-idolatry or feeling insecure, which is a form of self-idolatry, I just hope that this kind of touches home for you. I had the privilege of just talking to a small group of people that are my age and younger, and some that were older, and it really opened my eyes to realize that it doesn't matter what season of life you're in, there is always going to be an area of our life where we are being called to surrender. So whatever area of life that is for you right now, I just hope that the Lord would meet you in this short clip, and just that you would feel the tug to lay before whatever it is that's in your life that has a grip on you, that has a chokehold on you, that is putting up that wall or that barrier between you and Him, and that you would just lay that before Him, and that you would just step into a freedom through Him. So yeah, I'm gonna play it now, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it.
Oh my goodness, thank you guys for being here. I'm really excited. I was just standing there listening to this song. Is this not the perfect demonstration of just the Father's love for us? Like, we are no longer a slave to sin, no longer a slave to fear, no longer a slave to anything that we're struggling with. And that's exactly what I want to talk about tonight. And I kind of want to paint this image of my story, but it being the story of Christ, because ultimately that's what I'm doing here, and my only aim and my only mission is to point back to this ultimate story of Jesus Christ. So as I share my story, I want you to just keep in your mind that this is literally Jesus Christ and Him alone, and I would not be here if it wasn't for that broken chains that He did for me. So surrender. This is what I want to talk about today. Surrender is this letting go of whatever shame, whatever fear, whatever anxieties, whatever it is that is holding you captive and making you believe that you are a slave and that you are a prisoner to whatever that thing is. So when I was like 10 or 12, I don't know why, I feel like every time I share this story I have like a different age, but I was like 10 or 12, somewhere around there, and I started really struggling with my body image. And I think that even if you are on the older side here or on the younger side, like this applies to anybody. And I think that we as just people in the flesh, and in this world we have this world that pushes image and pushes perfection. And as I was growing up and in like 6th grade and 5th grade and all throughout this elementary and middle school, I was just really struggling with my body image and just really struggling with the way that I saw myself, and I really wanted to be different. I wanted to look different. I wanted to have more friends. I wanted to fit in. I wanted just people to like me, and I just felt like nobody loved me. And I started just comparing myself in the mirror, comparing myself to my friends, and I found myself searching, and this is me being extremely vulnerable, me searching the internet and searching Pinterest for workouts or diets or something that would make me smaller. And eventually it led to me cutting calories and me working out in secret and hiding things from my parents. And I reached this point in 6th grade or 7th grade, and my sister was really concerned about me. She was older than me, and she came to my mom and she said, something's wrong. Like, Addie isn't right, like this isn't her. And my mom tricked me, and she told me that she was going to give me a flu shot. And she picked me up from volleyball one day and took me to the doctor. And the doctor weighed me, which I guess that's not a normal thing when you're getting a flu shot. And she sat me down on that leather bed with like the thin paper, and I sat there and she told me, you've lost way too much weight and you're going to have to go inpatient if you can't figure this out. And I remember feeling like I was on the top of that ceiling in that room, and I sat there and just bawled my eyes out, and I felt my mom's hand on my shoulder, and she just cried and she wept, and I just felt like this doctor had taken everything that I had control of, every last bit of me that I thought like I could be worthy enough, and she had taken it from me. And I was so angry with her, and so I lied to her and told her I would figure it out so I didn't have to go inpatient, and that wasn't the case. I lost even more weight, and I got to a point where my health was on the line, and I almost died, and it was really hard. My parents were so just devastated and so concerned, and there was this one evening, and I talk about this a lot. This story is so pivotal in this whole journey, and it was during COVID, and we were in lockdown, and my parents were really trying to get a hold of this eating disorder, and my dad was sitting at the counter with me, and he was kind of hovering over me, and there were these 6 almonds sitting on the counter, and all I remember was him yelling at me and telling me and pleading that I would just eat them, just eat these 6 almonds. And I screamed like I've never screamed before. I was so frustrated and so upset with him because all I wanted was control. All I wanted was perfection and beauty and people to like me and to love me and to feel worthy. And I screamed, and I ran up to my room, and I shut my door, and I pressed my back against the door, and I just screamed. Like, screamed so loud. And I remember not even realizing that this was the Lord, but I just remember feeling this voice, this touch, this whisper of, Addie, like, this isn't you. You are made for so much more. And it wasn't perfect. I didn't get up and walk away and go eat those 6 almonds. No, I fought. But I fought with the Lord because I never lost him. He was always in me. And that's something that I see now as I share these stories. It's just that, like, it wasn't me against me. It was always this spiritual battle, and it was always the Lord fighting on my behalf. And from that point on, I continued this recovery journey, and years, months, and so many more scenarios like that where I sat at the counter feeling like my parents were yelling at me when truly they were yelling at this eating disorder. And I began to understand that eating disorder wasn't me. And the Lord placed on my heart just this longing, this desire for everybody to understand that, to realize that whatever it is that you think that you have a hold of, the thing that you want control over, like the Lord wants to take that and He wants to give you something that's going to satisfy. He wants to take whatever it is that you think that the number on the scale that you want to just shrink, or the number on the calorie box to just shrink, whatever. He wants to take that and He wants to give you something that satisfies. And it's this love, it's this overflow, it's this abundance of grace, because He oh so loves you. He sent His only Son to die for you. And I think that we forget that. We forget that He literally paid the ultimate sacrifice so that you wouldn't have to hold on to those chains. You wouldn't have to walk away feeling broken and frustrated and like you're just staring into an abyss and you don't even know what to do. No, He wants to take that. But you have to be willing to lay it at the altar and leave it there. Something I've experienced lately is that when you lay that at the altar, you feel this release, this freedom. And it's freedom that you were given when He paid that ultimate sacrifice. You've been given it, now you have to pick it up, you have to receive it. And you have to live out your faith. You have to go and live that out in freedom. And so I want to talk to somebody tonight that is feeling like, whether it is body image, whether it is the way that you look, or maybe it's singleness, maybe it's you're feeling frustrated about your school or about your career, your job, your family life, like whatever it is, lay it before the Father. He has a love for you that goes deeper than any understanding, anything that we can fathom. And I just want that to sit with you tonight, and that you would just leave and feel this overflow of love. And that overflow is something that the Lord also placed on my heart, and it's this word of abundance. It's His grace that is so insanely big you can't even think of it. Every day His mercies are new for you. And He really spoke to me when it came to that, and I decided to live out my faith and live out this experience that I've had. And I started a podcast, and I just kind of share thoughts, and I share things that we struggle with as people, and as just girls, as guys, as older generation, younger generation, and we just bring it to the light, because in order to surrender, it has to be brought to the light. We can't walk in darkness anymore. And then I wrote this book, and it's called This Isn't You, and it's a demonstration of this eating disorder, and this eating disorder that is not me, and I do not claim it. It is not a part of me, and that was my, step in obedience to surrender. I said, Lord, this isn't me. This isn't who you called me to be. This isn't who you made me to be. So I'm going to write this out, and so that people can know that that's not them either. And that's what I did, and now I'm here still so broken, and still every day practicing surrender. And I want you to know that you are not alone, and that this journey, this life, this act of surrender is so, so difficult, but you are not doing it alone. You never have, and you never will be. Because the Father has gone before you. He knows the plans He has for you. And He wants to walk alongside you in that, dispensing this grace and this love and this mercy every single day. And I just really want you to know that tonight. So thank you for letting me share my heart and letting me share my testimony. And I just hope that the Lord would spill this out in your walk with Him and in your heart, and that you would just feel so incredibly loved tonight.
You guys, you're never going to believe it. We are approaching the 1-year anniversary of my book, This Isn't You. This book is my story from death to life. I take you through my journey with anorexia nervosa and my recovery process and encountering Jesus through all of it. We have perspectives from both my parents, my siblings, and myself. And since we're practically family over here, I'd like to give all of the podcast listeners a little discount. So use code podcast10 over on our website for 10% off all books and ebooks. This includes This Isn't You and our new digital guide, All Who Have Ears. So again, head over to theabundantco.net, use code podcast10 for 10% off at checkout. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that clip, and I hope that the Lord just met you in that, and that you felt just called to surrender, and that He really sparked something in you and ignited a flame that would burn forever and ever and ever until the end of time. I really believe that there is a revival happening, and that there is just such a need for us to recognize that there is this, the fears, the burdens, the anxieties, the anything. There is a call to surrender right now, in this moment, in this day, no matter where you're at. I don't know, I just hope that you would step into your today after listening to this, whether you're in the car, you're at work, you're at school, you're just at home. Like, I just hope that you would turn this off and that you would kneel before him and you would lay whatever it is before his feet and just truly like take a step into what he has for you, because it is so good. And he really wants to replace that emptiness with his fullness and his overflow. And so, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I'm excited because we're coming up on the holidays, and like I said, it's my favorite time of year. And so next week are going to be talking about Thanksgiving and diving more into body image and how to surrender that. So I love you guys, and I hope you have an incredible day. The holiday season is coming up fast. You're probably planning out your Christmas list, crafting the perfect gifts. But did you guys know that we actually have a storefront on our website? We've got hoodies, t-shirts, tote bags, and of course, books. Not only are they cute and comfy, but they are the perfect way to represent the love of Jesus this holiday season. Get your Christmas shopping started today and save an extra 10% off using code podcast10 at checkout. Visit www.theabundantcode.net using code podcast10 for an extra 10% off at checkout.